Okay, good morning and welcome to John's Texas Workshops. We're up here in the wood shop and we're going to build some Christmas presents for the kids at Christmas. We're building 9 of these bird feeders, but I guess that can be used as doll houses or barns or whatever. We're cutting it out of 3/4 inch plywood and we're cutting these squares. They're 11 3/4 by 11 3/4, and it's going to take 36 of these, so it's going to be a lot of cutting, but you can use the same settings. But anyway, we're ended up cutting 36 of these squares. Now we're doing a process that I sure don't recommend. This is my old radium arm saw with a plow blade in there, and it's dangerous as heck. And I always screw my pieces down and use both hands up there where I know exactly where they are. You couldn't do this for fine furniture, but for these bird feeders, it works good. Anyway, we're plowing out that 3/4 inch groove. Then we're going to unscrew it. Then we're going to make sure that the next piece fits in there. I think we got it set pretty well. Then we're going to move our block over. We're going to sand where I had it screwed so it sits flat. Then we're going to put the same piece back in there again and cut the second groove to it. Like I said, we always screw these down, put another hole in there, but that just gives the birds a place to look out. Then we're going to get the old radium arm saw started. And we're going to put both hands up there and we're going to take our time to plow it out. Like I said, this is dangerous and don't do it. But I'm an old man, I've had it set up and it works. So it is what it is. Now we got that one plowed through. Get it cut off and get it unscrewed. Now we're going to take it to the table saw, and we've got 18 of these done, so we got to cut a 30-degree angle on there. So I got my fancy miter gauge and set up. But I think it's nice for projects like this. And we got it set up. We just make the 2 simple cuts. We make one cut there at 30-degree angle. Then we just flip our board over, put it in the same notch. Then we're going to cut our 2nd degree angle. Now we have a gable roof. So we got 18 of these we're going to make. Now we're going to cut the ceiling, what I call it. I'm going to go ahead and put one groove down the center of it. Probably not necessary, but I had it set up. It'll make it stouter. We're going to put our roof truss in there in that groove. Now we are cutting the pieces that are going to go in that groove, and those are 11 1/8 by 3 3/8. They're a little bit shorter, so they'll fit in there. Now we're cutting our roof, and our roof pieces are 14 1/2 by 8 inches. Now we're cutting a 30-degree angle on them so they'll fit up there good. And now we're coming back, we're cutting just a little notch right in the center. Got the saw set up in the center. It's just more or less a mark for our eye bolt that we're going to put in the center that's going to hold this up. We decided we'd pre-drill everything. It's going to make it a whole lot easier for the kids to get a screw started in the right place, and it'll be straight. It takes a little time, but it works. Now this is the ceiling section I'm drilling the hole in, and this is my roof support that we're going to get straight up and drill a pilot hole in for that eye bolt to go through. Now these are my sideboards. Since we're making so many of them, we just built a pattern out of one. We got our holes lined up where we want them. We're clamp it down. I'm going to use a little hammer and a punch and just make a little notch there so we'll have a place to drill our pilot hose on all 18 of these. This is the roof section. That's what I call a storyboard. Made it 1 3/8 inch wide with a mark on 2 inch and 6 inches, and we're just putting a mark on both sides. And we get one side done, we just turn the stick over and line it up with the edge and put the other 2 marks on there, and that gives a place where we know the holes go. And it is. This is kind of how I did that ceiling. I put that roof support in there and that notch and glued it. I glued it up overnight, then I just turned it over and put the screws in the back, and that worked really, really well. Oh, we did a lot of sanding on this thing. I sure love this little sander and that vacuum. It sure makes it nicer. Now we do all the painting. We painted these 8 different colors, but I did paint 2 sets of them pink, so they got a lot of girls. And we're using these torque head screws and a number 25 driver, and that's going to let them keep it in there a lot closer. Now we're doing our final assembly. This is just a mock-up. This will be took apart, but just gives an idea of how it looks. And we're going to let the kids choose the colors, so probably going to be all different colors. So we're putting on the sideboards there, and I think this is going to make a pretty fun activity for the kids to do there and get this all put together. All right, well, we sure appreciate y'all stopping by at John's Texas Workshops, and get a chance to stop by next and see what we come up with next. Thanks a lot.